So welcome ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today's video where we're going to be talking about PES 2022 and the Unreal Engine 5, because I have a video that I saw the other day and I think a lot of you guys have seen it, and it was of showing the faces being created. You can create these crazy looking faces and the technology that they're using is insane. So I wanted to showcase that and also talk a little bit about why we should be excited for the Unreal Engine 5, because this isn't just a case of going from one gen to the next. We're going from Fox Engine, which is now seriously outdated, you know, with the collisions and the animations. It's limited to a completely new engine that's well known, and hopefully Konami can pull the finger out and produce the goods. So let's quickly run through the old trailer from last year that we saw, which was more sort of a graphical showcase. The only thing that I really got from this was the fact that, you know, a kit that I'm wearing now with the embroidery and all that, it looked very high res, as you would expect, and you just see more detail, right? More stitching. And PES is all about edit mode. It's all about customization. You want to have those because the kits are probably going to be at least to 4K, you would expect, with the power of the PS5. I mean, the PC is not really a concern, because it's, you know, it's unlimited potential. But there's a look at Messi, number 10, of course, and we get a sort of a shot right here if we pause it of the badge, and that's what I'm talking about, how good it looks and the fabric and everything else. Of course, we all know about CGI, but you would expect this to be more in-game now with the power of what they have. Now, the Unreal Engine 5, folks, is not actually out. It's not out till this year. So yeah, that was pretty much it. And there you go. That was last year's trailer. Short, sweet, kind of showed you what you were going to get in the graphics department. But other than that, that was basically it. So now let's move on real quickly to why the Unreal 5 engine could be a game changer. Why you guys should be excited about PES. I think for quite a while, because a lot of you have got bored with it, I know. But this year, hopefully, it brings back the crowd. So what is the Unreal Engine 5? Well, it's the forthcoming version of Unreal Engine, and it's expected in 2021. The other stuff here isn't really relevant to kind of PES stuff. I'm not going to bore you guys with that. Let's just quickly go down here. So why is it a game changer? Basically because it will enable truly immersive experiences while reducing the complexity of building games, as well as in film and animation. Basically, you know, it will make it easier for developers to create stuff that we haven't seen before. Better, you know, ragdoll physics. When you make a challenge with a player, the engine will use whatever it's using to kind of calculate how he's going to fall and all that. I don't know. I'm not a programmer, but, you know, you guys have seen it in other games. So why we're excited about Unreal Engine 5. It will be a huge for the next gen. It will be a huge. That doesn't make sense. It will be huge for next gen of game development, but there are two big reasons that we're excited about it. First of all, file sizes, including 4K, 8K, and 12K. Now, the PS5 is capable, and the Xbox, I believe, of up to 8K, but let's not get carried away here. No one even has an 8K TV, and if you do, you're the minority by an absolute mile. So 4K is more than acceptable. So let's say a player is looking at a cavern and sees a stalagmite. What is that? Stalagmite? There we go. A rock of Alright. I've learnt something. Don't judge me. Okay, it's rendered in 4K, but as the player zooms in, the resolution changes dynamically, and the player sees the thingamajiggity in 12K. Okay, interesting. This functionality is incredible, and UE5 makes it possible by handling greater file sizes. As teamwork on building games for next-gen consoles like PS5 and Xbox Series X, they'll need to be able to handle larger files. So there we go, Konami. No moaning about files are not big enough. There's too much. No, you're going to be dealing with whoppers. You've got to deal with it. The Unreal Engine 5 isn't out till next year. Well, they mean this year now. But companies are already making games for these next-gen consoles, and they're running into issues with file size. Okay, all that stuff right there. So there you go. You know, the rendering is obviously going to be better. 4K, 8K, up to 12K is nuts. That's a little bit extreme, but as long as it's 4K, and I'm really not that bothered. Alright, so when is the Unreal Engine 5 released, or the release date? Well, it's expected to release in preview in early 2021, and a full release is expected to follow later in 2021. So, of course, Konami have already got their hands on an early build, and they're building the game, and they're developing it right now. But it isn't quite there yet, and There we go. All right, so that's pretty much the Unreal Engine in a nutshell, without boring you too much, but I'll leave timestamps. So let's talk about this video right here that I'm going to play for you guys. And it's going to be showing the capabilities of maybe edit mode. So here we go. I mean, from the facial hair to the aging to the eyes, the blinking. I mean, it looks ridiculous, to be honest. I mean, look at the smile. And yeah, it's nuts. So let's quickly run through this. They're just talking some nonsense here. You create the narrative, couple of faces there, and then we're going to dive into, yeah, it's MetaHuman, they're calling this. So here it is. I can actually probably slow this down. I'm going to slow this down, and I'm going to go back. So here we go. So there's, you've got the beard. You can change it on the fly. You got the hair. And obviously this is all done through the engine, through the development, whatever they're using it. But imagine the potential here. The potential, and I'm going to show you a face, a default face of what we have now. But imagine you could go in there and you could create faces like this and just be able to do it so easy, and it looks phenomenal. And then the game renders it for you. And there's huge potential here. And I don't know how PES is going to play out. I don't know how well the edit mode's going to be, how deep it's going to be, because the beards have always been a bit of an issue. And PES are quite far behind now when it comes to you know, default faces and that, and beards. They're way off. They're way off the pace. They haven't updated them in not decades, but years and years and years. So here it is. You can just customize literally everything, morph their face to any way you want to, and this will give us the potential to create faces in games that don't have the faces, because Konami don't have the licenses, so they're not going to have every player. They don't have every league. But if we can go in there and do this ourselves, well, hey, absolutely. There you go. Tweak the lips. You can move them in. You can move them out. You can even tweak the eyes to your heart's content. But what do you guys make of this? I mean, if you had this in game, I think you'd be pretty happy. I certainly would. Absolutely baffling. It really is how detailed this is. But this is the level we're at now. This is technology. I mean, look how old these players, I mean, these faces look old and wrinkly. You can have a young, up-and-coming star. There's the lighting. Yeah, quality. Imagine it. Score an absolute belter, and then you've got a player that smiles at you, and it just looks authentic and realistic. So there it is. MetaHuman creation, folks. It is coming 2021. Could be the potential for PES 2022, though, couldn't it? Looks exceptionally good. You let me know in the comments. What do you guys make of it? Alright, so here's a quick look for you guys to compare of what we could have in the future to what we have now. I mean, it's laughable, isn't it, really? Now, you got to remember, as I said, the Fox engine is outdated, and Konami have never really gone in there and enhanced it further, because I don't know the capabilities of it. But look at the difference. I mean, it's night and day. I mean, I don't think you'd have a guy this old playing in PES, but still, it's just everything about, you know, his hair looks ridiculous. It looks like it's been glued on. You know, the nose just looks like it's been stuck there. There's no real details in the skin textures and the eyes and the eyelids and the, I mean, there is no beard on him, but it's night and day. So imagine going from that to that. Blimey, that will be something. Alright, so one more thing I want to talk about as well is this article that I saw saying that next-gen radio silence does not bode well for the franchise. And they were saying that, you know, they're not saying anything about it. This is a little bit concerning, because why are we not seeing or hearing anything about the new up-and-coming PES game? And I think it's a bit extreme, first of all. But you can see here, look, I mean, this statement alone kind of it puts an emphasis of what they're trying to achieve, because they said the sheer scale of everything we are aiming to achieve for our next-gen debut has made it necessary to pare back our efforts in other areas of development, and that's why they decided to launch the season update. So saying like the sheer scale of everything we're aiming to achieve means they're trying to obviously reboot the franchise and hopefully go guns blazing and really pack in a solid game. So I think this article is a bit extreme. I'm going to actually let you guys watch this while I'm talking, so it's something to watch. It's just the Unreal Engine 5, the capabilities. But look, don't be concerned, folks. Don't be concerned that we haven't heard anything about PES 2022. We wouldn't hear anything about PES 2022 on the Fox engine from if it was running on the same engine. You know, Konami don't normally state anything about the game until like maybe April, May, June. But this year, I'm going to say this much. Don't be surprised if the game comes out later than you normally expect. Normally, we see PES in September. I don't think we're going to see it in September this year. We may, but I'm thinking they may push it back October, possibly November. I don't know, because I don't know the sheer scale of what they're looking to achieve, you know, how much they're going to put in the game. Are they going to come out with, you know, a bit of a starter, and then later on they'll start adding more stuff to the game? Or are they going to come out with everything guns blazing? I don't know, but I don't think we need to be concerned about the fact that we haven't heard anything about the game. I would fully expect to hear something possibly in E3. We know E3 this year with COVID lurking still. I don't know if it's going to work with people going to go and watch it or not. But if we don't hear anything in E3, then fully expect something in Gamescom. Now, that's not till August. That's a long, long time away. But I think with them bringing out a whole new engine this year, Konami have got to be very, very careful with what they show and when they show it. Marketing is going to be massive for them. Make sure they are marketing the game. They need to market the game heavily this year if you're going to compete against FIFA. You know, I've played FIFA on the PS5. I played it on the new engine, technically, that they've added. I know it's not the next gen. I don't know what to expect. But for FIFA, I don't expect anything revolutionary, because I still think at the end of the day, EA are not going to change the core gameplay. It's still going to be very pick up and play, skatey and arcadey. And if that's what you enjoy, then fine. I don't. I prefer PES. So Konami have a chance this year to really capture a different audience and go for those FIFA players that have had enough of it. But ultimately, it's also going to depend on the game modes that Konami do. Their two focuses will have to be, My Club obviously is a massive one for them with next gen, or even current gen, because that's where they make the revenue. But they've also got to have a very deep Master League. Those are the two modes that we all play. I play Master League, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do as well, and a lot of you play My Club. So expect that. Expect big things in My Club and Master League. Expect to hear something come maybe E3, if not Gamescom, definitely. That's what I think. I haven't heard anything. Don't quote me on this. I don't know. I haven't spoke to anyone at Konami, because it's all mum's your word, but that's what I would expect, pretty much. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do with the gameplay, as long as they get the physics right and the collisions are working and the referees make sense. And the gameplay, look, dribbling has to have 360 dribbling. You know, all the freedoms that you want to see. A new revamped shooting system. So much potential, but what we will see is still up in the air, and we will find out, hopefully, within the next 3-4 months. Anyway, that's all for today, folks. I just wanted to put something out there because I can't wait, especially playing manual this year. I've enjoyed PES so much more. It's bringing my love back for the game. And I want to see PES 2022 absolutely blow it out of the water this year. And fingers crossed Konami do big things. But anyway, let me know your thoughts below. I'll leave timestamps in there as well, so you guys can skip through the video if you would like. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about that video as well, showcasing the faces. I mean, it looks madness. But you can see the potential here with the lighting and everything. Ray tracing is phenomenal. It's crazy how far we've come, folks. When you look 20 years ago, you know, we didn't even have flat screen TVs, did we? I don't even know, but it's mad. Anyway, we'll be back shortly. Subscribe for your daily dose of PES. But until next time, take care.